All right then, folks, it's game time. Get your game face on. It's time to look at the stock, which I'm sure is not the highlight of the route. So just to preface a little, for those that may not have looked at anything about the route, the route's okay. It looks by and large like anything that the group known as High Iron Simulations have done recently. The Boston Albany, or the B&A Boston Springfield line, the B&O Mountain sub, and the Hanover sub. That just everything has that same kind of look to it, with the assets they use, so on and so forth. But that being said, the route looks faithful to how I know it, visiting the area over the years. It looks okay. The autumn and the fall season looks like total dog shit because of the same old trees that they use. It doesn't look anything like this area in real life during the fall, which is just, stunning, gorgeous, beautiful. I haven't looked at winter, haven't looked at spring. We'll try and take a look at those. The skybox, I'd also like to say that I've got the Armstrong Powerhouse skybox in here because, I've got it. I'm going to use it. I don't use any default route skybox on anything that I play because largely I think it just looks like ass. Just personal taste. Everybody's got, their taste, right? So I've got the Armstrong Powerhouse weather and sky dome in, which help immensely with the lighting and the overall look. Don't get me wrong, because in the default shade, it does not help things one bit. It looks pretty darn bad. Not only that, to be able to use the Armstrong Powerhouse weather, a friend of mine had to assist me in doing his, train sim in-depth wizardry to get the shit to work. Because for whatever reason, their last few routes that they made, High Iron Simulations, not only were they not packed in an AP file, so you could just kind of look at the folders at whim inside the game in the directory, this was packed up, so I had to unpack it. And then when you click on the weather and the time of day, there's nothing there. It just says default bin. They didn't add the freaking seasons, so you can change them. So I had a patch from another friend that made it so the older routes that use the default old ass skybox, you could just slap that patch in there and it'll fix all those routes. Even that didn't work. So this friend of mine was able to get it made so it looks a little bit better using AP weather. So they did that, which was kind of ass backwards. Not only that, but in the editor, placing some of the stuff down, there's some misspellings here and there in the editor with a piece of rolling stock or two, which is just kind of dumb. Little things like that you should easily be able to notice and squash immediately. But this is who this is. So we will start by looking at the rolling stock. I've laid out, of course, everything you're going to get here with the pack as usual. We've got our box cars. Again, like I was saying earlier, this is a lot of these pieces of rolling stock are freeware with different paints. There might be some little bits and bobs changed here and there, but by and large, it's freeware and stock that's been reused over and over, time and time again. I mean, they look okay for the most part. I've got everything laid out here. You've got Norfolk Southern, you've got Norfolk and Western. I thought there was a Southern one as well. I guess not. You've got some random ass blue and green. So you get those. It's the same old rolling stock. I'm not really going to get into those. It just is what it is. You got a center beam. You've got these bulkhead flats with 3 different variations of log, and then you've got the shorty gondolas with different variations of loads: pipes, sand, trash, gravel. Rolled steel, coal, cables, and barrels. And then you've got these, which I was kind of sad about these, the the wood chip gondolas, these aren't really true to the Southern or Norfolk Southern and the ones that they used. They don't really look anything like the real deal, sadly. They're just reused models, as usual. You know, a new chip gon would have been cool for this route because they were used quite a bit in the late 90s, you know, before then. You know, but it's just a regular ass chip gon we've always had with Norfolk Southern and Southern on there. Didn't even get any different colors like the brown or anything. You know, we've got the 100-ton coal gons in Norfolk Southern, Southern, and Norfolk Southern. So a couple different varieties as far as color. What else? Got 3-bay hoppers. Again, all reused material. We've you know, we've been seeing this stuff for ages. I mean, the fonts and everything look okay. They look they could be sharper. You know, but the logos look okay and things like that. It's just, it's nothing really you know, shocking, grabbing, sparkly. It's just, you know, it's kind of same old stuff. You get quite a few of those. You get the 2-bay cement hoppers here. Again, Norfolk Southern, Norfolk and Western. I'm actually looking here to make sure they spelled this right. Okay, I think they did. And then you got another Southern one. You know, they look okay for the most part. And then you've got this god-awful tank car from DTM, which is just, it looks like a toy. It looks like Baby Billy's little first train set toy. It's just not good looking at all. I'm tired of seeing this thing. They throw it in like every freaking pack they can now. It's ridiculous. I mean, look at the wheels. Look how bright they are. Look how freaking huge they look. It's just, you know, there's nothing to it. It's just like there's no depth to it at all. It just looks kind of ridiculous. It just doesn't it doesn't do it for me. It looks funky. And the main course, let's get around here and have a look. Okay. All right. Let's prepare here. All right. You know what? We'll start with this thing down here. This is probably the only like truly new thing. And God, it's loud as usual. So, this is the ex-Southern GP35 high nose with AAR trucks, also known as Alco trucks. It should have bidirectional control. The Southern Railway units at Norfolk Southern were, I think, 2645 through 2715. I think most of these had Nathans. Should be like a Nathan M5. They had the EMD 567 D3. And the thing about the trucks, the Alco trucks, is so like railroads would trade in their Alcos to get new locomotives, and that was part of the program. Is they would kind of reuse the trucks and throw them on the new EMD. So that's why you have Alco trucks on here, because I think Southern traded in some Alco RS units on their GP35 order. And they were delivered in like 1965, I want to say. Now, to be completely fair, man, the lighting angle is just horrible right here. Can't see shit. You know, I feel like the GP30 from DTM was probably one of his best products, if I'm completely honest. And that's, yeah, that's like saying, it's like saying what fart you think smells the best, you know. It's like, it kind of works the same way there. But so this is basically just the GP 30, which is the GP 35, same thing basically, with a high nose. So we have a high nose. So the Southern Railway largely had high noses and would travel long hood forward, denoted by the F, where the forward part of the engine or power unit would be. And reason being is they would have two control stands. There's a lot of different explanations. This is the best I can think of. So they had two different control stands so they could turn the engine around, you know, instead of having to rotate it or swap out power or whatever the hell. And it had a lot to do with being able to see the signals. So, you know, if say that's facing forward, you know, that way, and the engineer was on this side, he'd be able to see the signals. And then if he had to turn around and go the other way with the short hood, he'd be able to see the signals going back the other way. The bidirectional cab units kind of made that unnecessary in a sense, but yeah, that's one of Southern's things. They were a lot of high hoods, a lot of long hood forward running, so on and so forth. So these are, of course, all built by DTM. They seem to include everything DTM in the high iron packs now. Like overall, this is probably the best looking model out of the three. It looks okay. He's definitely using some new techniques as far as like how these things look, and you know, draped in various bits of weathering and things like that. You can tell he's doing stuff like that, like he did with the P40, even though the P40 was still pretty bad. You can tell on the grab irons, you know, some rusting here and there, and like the I don't know the technical terms, but like the fading on the edges. You know, it's still got those flat ass weird 2D chains, like something you see at a little kid's birthday party, you know, hanging from the ceiling. You've got the weathering on this bit, which just looks weird. It looks like a burnt piece of wood, you know, with like clean, non-burnt edges. Air hoses look kind of crappy. Couplers purple. Yeah, I mean, you know, the honks looks okay. Prancing Pony, it's got markers. They had markers. You know, they're Alco trucks. Alco trucks are cool. Those look all right. He actually threw some of his new technique into that as well. Like, these look okay, honestly. The trucks look okay. I feel like this brake pin is out way too far. That thing was long as hell. Yeah, it looks really long. It's weird. Maybe they were like that. I don't know. Southern on the side looks okay. It's, you know, it's sharpish. I don't know if that's supposed to be like that. That kind of looks pointless. Like, if that's open right there, what's the point of the fan underneath? I'm kind of confused. Is this green bit supposed to be like part of the radiator or something? I'm a bit confused on that. It's still got the same old ass sounds that I think the GP30 had from DTM. Got the F on there denoting the front. You know, yellow grab irons and steps and all that where it needs to be. You know, the model on shit like this does not look good. It's just paper thin. But this edging technique is like everywhere, and it looks like it's been burnt. It's weird. It's like a charred piece of wood. You know, he's trying new techniques. That's great. That's nice. Always, you know, try to evolve and do better. Weathering wise and the overall look, I think this one probably looks the best compared to whatever those two things are. Real dirty and sooty on the top. I think he did an okay job with the weathering on these, especially compared to years past and models past. Especially, you know, you may be thinking, what the hell, that doesn't look good. Wait till we look at the other one, and then you'll be like, okay, yes, that one does look better. Got the bell on the front. That was a Southern thing. Again, this was an ex-Southern unit that Norfolk Southern got because of the merger. Norfolk and Western, and Southern Railway becoming the Norfolk Southern Railroad. It's got the massive ass trumpets, which that thing looks huge. Look how big that son of a bitch looks. God almighty. And I guess it's supposed to be an RS or a S3L or a 3-chime, obviously, a Leslie. You know, a lot of these had Nathans. I think a lot of these had Nathan M5s, to be precise. So that was just slapped on there. got some fans moving. I don't know if they're actually dynamic. The grills look ass as well. They're just super paper thin. Like there's just nothing to them, kind of like the steps. You know, but model-wise, it looks okay. It's definitely better than the old GP30. Let's get in it. All right, let's put the brakes. Is that gonna? Thank you, God. All right. So the other thing is, again, I don't know why this pack is deemed pro range. I don't feel there's really anything pro about it. Personal opinion, obviously. But you know, Mike Rennie of Smokebox has contributed some things, including the brake script, to you know, a lot of the DTM and high iron stuff in years past now. And I just don't get it. He makes some incredible stuff on his own. And then you've got like this. I mean, the advanced brake thing may be okay if it was on something that kind of deserved it. But like, it's like putting, God, let me try and think of an analogy real quick. Oh, let's see. You know, it's like buying a Rolls Royce, and then you go down the street to one of those little shabby ass tire shops, you know, little sketchy ones, where they, you know, it's just a sketchy place, and you get tires from that thrown on your Rolls Royce. You know, it's like, it just, you know, it just doesn't make sense. I don't get it. I can't tell the interior of this thing. He's done some work on it as well. It looks a little bit different in like the weathering department. It seems to have a little bit of depth, like texture-wise. It's still very rough. Like the edging thing going on is funky. This window looks pretty shitty. You know, the rim around the window. It's somehow gotten on these cables, which doesn't make sense at all. Looks like they've been spray painted. So it was like a spray paint job. Speedo box looks bad. Lights look terrible. This looks like something from like 10 plus years ago. You know, it looks like it's been, you know, notched up a little, but nothing over the top. You know, keep on improving though. This back panel still looks like a cheap toy. For whatever reason, you've got this trim piece on the side there with the screws in that's painted green. Unit selector switch doesn't work. ISO switch doesn't work. Looks like you can't stop the engine. Lights, let's get all this shit on. Glass lights, platform lights. Headlight control doesn't work. Alright, there's our markers. Number boards. I feel like the number board lighting looks a little bit better. Starting to kind of have that appearance like it's actually backlit. But something else real quick. Let me zoom out here and get away from that cacophony of shit sound. You know, I'm not getting good frames right now. Let me turn on my frame counter here. Sorry. I've got nothing put on. I'm getting like 18 FPS right now. I've got 3 of these locomotives, which are all DTM, and these rail cars. There's nothing super special or in depth about these, and I'm not just saying that to be mean. You know, for example, I was testing the upcoming Searchlight Simulations SD70 ACU Canadian Pacific pack, and those things are very in depth, and they look freaking incredible. And I was getting a shit ton of frames per second in those things. So why on earth, for a far inferior product, am I getting worse frames? Things like that really get under my skin. You know, kind of like the stupid Krusty the Clown trees. So that aside, I don't know. It's probably something to do with the scripting. I think Caesar scripting with these products is often like, it's just what the hell's going on in there type of thing. That's probably got a lot to do with it. And oftentimes his lights cause a lot of problems as well. You can see how like stuttery it looks. That's crazy. Alright, let's Let's turn that back off. Alright, so this is control stand numero uno. Oh, this one doesn't have bidirectional. I was thinking it does. Never mind. But yeah, he's touched up interior stuff a little bit, it would seem. I think it's called like edge wear or something. It seems like that's literally like all he's done, so it seems like it's added a tiny bit of depth. Doors open. The skid plate doesn't look very good. Diamond plate. Or anti-skid, I mean. Windows open. Those actually might be new. Those handles. They look very sharp. Yeah, that's it. Let's see, head out. Seems to work. Let's go back in. Alright, let's go down the track here and get away from these other bastards making noise here. Alright. Look at the control stand. We got them old hot dog handles. Joey Chestnut would be creaming his effing pants right now, dude. Because those are hot dogs. Hot dogs. He's added some weathering on there as well. Looks like you can see some rust and all that. The colors just don't look very good at all. Let's see what we got here. None of those work. Engine run, control fuel, gin field, none of that works. Cab lights on. It does take some frames, but cab lighting generally does. Turn the instrument lights on here. Still same old DTM lighting and instruments and gauges. Try the wipers out. Super fast, don't make any sound. Oh, let's do the headlights. Forgot about that. There's the headlights. It's still got that stupid flare that, you know, I'm going to say I don't think anybody enjoys, but I know somebody will be like, I like it, just to be edgy. It doesn't look good. Please get rid of that damn flare. We do not need it. The color looks like green tea color, but it's, you know, at least it's not super LED bright white. You know, the color looks okay. It's just the flare is total shit, as usual. All right, let's get back in. Let's turn that off actually here. What the hell? So there's like a headlight. What the freak? I don't know what these headlight controls are doing. I think it's doing the rear for whatever reason. These keys don't seem to do anything. It's pitch black in here and there's absolutely no depth to anything. So I'll turn the lights on and let's release and go down the track a bit. The air brakes still sound like a dental drilled, which I don't think anybody likes the sound of. Power selector. Does that actually do anything? Yeah, so it's either power or off you can do. So the sound for the goddamn reverser comes from behind you. That's cool. Cool story, bro. All right, one notch. All right, it quiets down. So as with these poor engine sounds from packs past, you know, the sound is similar. Yes, there's no argument there, as usual. It's kind of what these sound like. But the thing is, like with the notches, when you notch up and down, all it is like the pitch of the idle sound changes. That's it. See? There we go, 3, 4. It sounds like some kind of sound effect out of like a horror movie. You've got that I want to stab my eye out with a flat screwdriver flange squeal sound. Yes, I know. That's a thing. I got it. But it ain't that damn bad in the cab. I mean, maybe if you were on the ground next to the trucks, okay. But, you know, inside, I don't think it really sounds like that. I've never been in one of these, per se. But, boy, look how fast we're going, too, man. 3 knots, we're doing like 35 mile an hour in this son of a bitch. Alright, he's reused that horn in probably every pack he's ever done. It's not one of the worst sounding horns. But, yeah, let's try to bell. That whole DTM bell, baby. Alright, shut it down, see what happens. That's comical. The shutdown sound is probably the best sound out of the lot. Alright, back to the yard. Okay, we got that bastard out of here. So this thing is the short hood. This is the X Norfolk Western unit. So this, of course, is an X Norfolk Western SD40-2 low nose. So the Norfolk and Western units were built 1974 onward. And most were modernized present day with PTC and all that good crap. I think the numbers were like 1625 to 1652. There were various other number ranges as well. I don't know what number range these are. That, you know, the 16 was in its original form, I believe. These were considered like Phase 1A units. Some were high nose, some were not. A lot of the numbers were not consecutive in the range of these things, you know, because railroads. And yeah, it had of course, the EMD 16645 E3 prime mover, which, again, I'm not trying to argue that the sound is not that. It's just kind of that same old sound that's been used for ages and ages, and there's really just nothing to it. And first thing I see right off the bat that kind of just murders this model for me right away is that plow. What on God's green earth is this thing? Oh my God, look how low that thing has to scrape the freaking rails everywhere it goes, dude. Look at that. It's like a shovel. And the freaking air hose is clipped through it. That is shit. You know, I'm done being nice. Like, this is stuff we're expected to pay for. You know? That's garbage. Look at that shit. What in the hell? It is too big, my dude. You know, if this was like the first time, yeah, okay. You know, not trying to be totally mean girls. But this part is way too effing long, my bro. It's what? You know, and there's no... looks like the air hose has got a little treatment. That actually looks like some metal. And that actually looks like cracked rubber. That might be some new stuff. Get rid of this freaking pilot, dude. I don't even want to look at that, man. Get rid of that shit. You got the edge wear thing going on the side with the texturing, which is just not smooth at all, and it's just over the top. Yeah. So these are all supposed to be all new models. That's what, you know, Gare Bear and all of his 14,000 articles were promoting, as all new models. Hey guys and girls, we got all new models for the Saluda Grade. Gary, can we just not? Can we just be real for once? I know you're trying to make money off of, you know, these packs, but you don't help the digital railroad enthusiasts as a whole with this kind of shit, man. You really don't. It's anyway, Footplate, you know, it's just super flat right to the edge there. There's it looks massive. I mean, look how friggin' wide those little beans are in the shit. It's just I mean, the logo looks good, the stripes look good. They did have marker lights, the number lights look good, the lights themselves. He's got the bell on the back. You know, to be fair, the bell model looks okay. You know, it's a step in the right direction, I guess. It's just, you know, man, when you get the same shit over and over and over and over again, it's just, how many times can you, please sir, can I have another to it? You know what I mean? Some more purple weird ass couplers, more thin ass steps. Look at that, dude. It's like paper. It's like copy paper thin. Yellow grab irons. There's some weird shit going on with that one. Look how there's like that big gap there. Maybe that was Norfolk Southern's idea of weight savings, possibly. It looks like the whole side of the shit does it. Yeah, so there's a gap all the way down that rail. I'm pretty certain that would have not been like that IRL. Don't quote me on that, but I'm fairly certain it would not have been like that. That one, that one's whole. Maybe it was. I don't know, dude. Looking at this shit, sometimes I feel like I lose my sanity. Little, you know, bit by bit. Every time I look at one of these, I look at the root and I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I get to the stock and it's like, why, God? Why do we exist? Into this thing, you can see some attempt at weathering was done. There's like these weird streakings or striations all the way down the long hood, which don't look normal at all. You know, I was thinking, you know, let's zoom over here real quick, guys. I was thinking this might have been a Kuju model, and it very well could have, but I can't get over there right now. I'm too far because I'm still clicked on that 35. So we'll go that way and check those out. So that's an old Kuju SD40-2 back there, right? This is, I'm going to do air quotes, a new SD40-2 right here. And I've already done a quick look, and there are some differences, but that doesn't mean the model as a whole was not taken from the Kuju shit and tweaked. Know what I'm saying? So, again, the horn, you know, these had Nathans, man. These had Nathans. God, how big those trumpets are, man. That's insane. That's insane. F denoting the front, of course. The old Norfolk and Western down there, that's legit. Numbers look pretty legit. Of course, the side as well. You can see some weird shit going on with the texturing here. See, look how it seems like reverse. So on this side, over the 197 number, you can see like a darker kind of bit, and then it's light on the left, and then down below it's light and clean, and then that dark weirdness is over there. So it was like that whatever that little option is in whatever texturing program you're using was just flipped or mirrored or whatever the hell. You know, it just seems really lazy. Just lazy stuff. Those pilots are gonna make me want to punch something, man. Yeah, I got a little bit of kind of like bump mappy looking stuff, weathering on the nose by the sand cap there. Up top as well. Yeah, actually, I don't think that's new. There's some really weird shit going on there with the occlusion or whatever. That shading. What in the hell? See through these again. I mean, the model just looks off a little bit. Like, yes, it looks like the porch is massive, but you know, these were initially meant to put like 45s on, right? Which were at a bigger car body. you know, but they kind of look like that for the most part, I guess. I feel like that one is the one that looks the weirdest to me for some reason. Let's continue with this one though. Lovely exhaust effect. You know what that exhaust looks like? You guys ever seen the fish tank? And you got the little guy, the diver at the bottom of the tank with the chest, and the chest opens and lets a couple bubbles out every couple seconds. That's what that shit looks like. Oh. Did someone have diarrhea on the floor? What the what? Is that a liquid down there? Again, it looks like an attempt was made at the interior with some weathering again. Something looks funky as hell. What? Why does that look so weird? Like the front plate, like the firewall out to the nose there. Why does that look so weird? Like everything looks tiny compared to it. You know, like the head up there, the roof line. I'm trying with my words. This is, sorry guys, this is yeah, I mean, an attempt was made. It's just that, you know, it needs to it could be better, for sure. It could be better. You know, texturing is one thing, but it starts with a good model. You gotta have a good model as well. And I don't know that, anyway, let's click all this shit. I just, you know, I get to the stock on these high iron things, and I start to feel so ass whooped, and I don't want to do you guys a disservice, so try not to. So it looks like I'm seeing some bulbs up there. I think those are new. Those little like crystal knobs. I think those are new. That's kind of neat, I guess. Let's see, no ISO, no light. The engine start and stop button works. There's our lights. Of course, again, it murdered the absolute frames. So we've got super white LED markers, okay? And then we've got the green tea colored step lights around the decking. So that's interesting. What just happened? Wait, was that the compressor? Was that the air compressor doing that? Alright, these windows make no sound at all. What the hell? I swear these made sound a moment ago. Am I having a fucking stroke right now? I just used the F-bomb. That's what's... DTM stuff does that to me, guys. I apologize. But this is not noted for children to watch, obviously. Even though I'm sure Buzz and Gary will probably watch it. That sounds weird. Oh man, look at the frame. There's like no depth there. It's literally just, it's like a 1/4 inch thick. The freaking door jamb. What in the hell? That looks so weird. That's so weird, man. Let's see. Yeah, you can see the thickness out here. That looks okay. I feel like I'm losing my freaking marbles, man. These things. Anyway, yeah, the tempo's done. The floor does. Yeah. It looks, you know, it's different. It's new. I think it's the lighting and the way it's like splattered up here as well. It's like just, whew. We've got the Joey Chestnut style handles again with a little bit of smattering of weathering on there. We got so much more to look at, guys. Let's get this thing going here. So none of these switches work, but they all look like they're in the down and or off position. What the? So I'm hitting the H button, and it's not actually moving the selector switches on the headlights. Again, it's, you know, it's got that green tea color. Shit posting aside for a minute, guys. I think an attempt was made at a new headlight color. And I commend that. You know, it certainly looks better than the marker light colors, which it's like, why would they not be similar? You know what I mean? But you know, I guess kudos on that. Like, again, get them dumbass looking flares out of there. You know, it's because they're lazy. That's the main thing. They may add things, but they don't fix or rewrite certain things from shit in the past because they're lazy. That's a big part of why this stuff always releases in such a manner. Is that made out of like mahogany or something? The horn pole. All right, let's go back there. Heard absolutely no difference in idle sound. Okay, let's get rid of the brakes. Prepare your ear holes. This little baby guy, what's that do? Little toggle. Don't do nothing. Don't do nothing. The sander switch is probably the best looking thing in here. Alright. This thing's very quiet. I mean, we're talking about a 645 E3 in this sumbitch. And like, I feel like it's like I'm in another zip code listening to the sound of it. That's not too bad. The rattle. Okay, I'll give it that. But the sound is nowhere to be found. The sound is MIA. The sound mailed it in. The sound called in sick. The sound accidentally shit its pants and had to go home. For the prime mover. It's super quiet. You guys remember that GP35 and how freaking loud that thing was? And now this? I'm sorry, what? Not two? But, and again, so, you know, I'm not a OG triple OG 100%, you know, badass edgy hogger. But the physics seem to feel okay, especially the fact that we're light engine. You know, it didn't slot car jump off the line like the 35 kind of did. What the hell is that? Somebody just knock on the door? What was that? 3? No. It's the switches. That's cute. 4. Look at the wheel textures, man. They look like they're wobbly. You got that old DTM flange squeal, boy. Nope. DTM bell. You know, modeling wise, I'll give it to them. An attempt has been made to up the game. It just needs to keep going. You gotta really want to do good, you know. Don't half-ass it. Don't mail it in because Gary's rushing you, because Dovetail's like, we need this now so we can push it out Thursday. You know, I know you gotta eat off of making it, okay? You know, you gotta do what you gotta do, but just don't half-ass it. This thing is so quiet. Physics felt okay. It just looks so flat. It's the weirdest thing. It's hard for me to put it into words. It's very gray. Norfolk Southern is black. Yeah, I know these get dirty, but it's almost like the contrast is all the way down or something. You know, I don't know. It's a step up, I guess. You know, super in-depth modeling wise and a little, you know, the nomenclature that goes along with that. I'm not going to know all that. I'm just spitballing it as usual. But it's a bit better than the older shit. Can we go with that? I think we'll go with that. Okay, so what I did over here was I set the old Pt.2 down. Look it down, Texas boy. Ooh, that's pretty right there. That's pretty. All right, so Pt.2 straight paper, and then we got what we were just in right next to it. I honestly couldn't tell you if it's the same model. You know, I don't think it is. I really don't. It did kind of look that way from early shots, but you can look at the trucks, you can look at the you know, battery box or whatever the hell that is on the engineer side, you know, versus like that one. You've got cabling and some air brake shit going on down here with the pipes. You know, little bits and bobs, little technical bits, which are 100% not on this shit at all. I mean, look at this thing. Where's this at? I forget what that's called. It looks like a wastegate to me. Someone call it a wastegate. Turbo. I mean, some of the model might have been used. I don't know, like the long hood deck looks about the same. It might have just been taken and topped up a little. I don't know, like the vents on the side here for the dynamic shit looks a little different on that one than that one. They look smaller. Is that the dynamic bit right there? It's just, I don't know. It is a little bit different. The shade or the blind's definitely different. Look at the front here. Man, I'm going for like a record of channel's longest video here. I mean, but I'll tell you what though, that Pt.2's got the horn size right. Look at the plow. It's a different plow, but look at it. Dude, take that plow away, it would look a million times better than the freaking trumpets on the horn, my dude. And of course it's the same horn. Of course it is. Of course it is. You know, so I don't know. It might have been at some point the same shit. Oh, these come with non-driver and driver variants, by the way. I mean, what kills it, like, it's honestly not terrible. You know, I don't want to sit here and just dump all over it. Or maybe I do. I don't. Honestly don't. Like, I want the shit to be good. Who doesn't? Some people are fine with mediocrity and, you know, sub-mediocrity. That's fine too. You know, but fix some things like the coloration of the wheels or the axles, this ridiculous plow, you know, that horn, and then you've got the start of a newer, decent model, all things considered. But it just looks so flat. I don't know what it is. Like, there's just no depth to it. You know, the body, the model of it. It's just, even this one doesn't seem flat. I don't know if it's like the shading or something like that. You know, or the texture overall. I really don't know. But that's that one. All right, let's go back to this boy. All right. is that? What is that? All right, guys. This is the Southern High Nose SD40-2. So Southern Railway units were built 1979 onward. They had a bidirectional cab. Most of these units were modernized with a new cab, the low hood. I think they were eventually numbered 3303 to 3328, somewhere in that range. They were considered Phase 2B. They too, I think they had the long frames or porches as well, meant to house the 45s. Again, the horn, what in the hell? I thought these had Nathans, P5s. The old GP35, maybe an M5, but these probably would have been P5s, yeah. But again, EMD 16645 E3 prime mover, so it's probably going to sound just like that one we were just in. Again, this freaking pilot, my God, what on earth is that? Look at that. Gosh. Okay, so looks like something happened in the texturing department with trying to have it look weathered or whatever. So you got these long lines down the hood. Not only does that look ridiculous, streaking. We'll call it streaking. We're going streaking through the quad. It's overboard. I don't know if this thing is supposed to look like it sat under, gasoline being drizzled on it for like a year straight or something. But it looks a bit ridiculous. You can see some weird kind of like snake skin effect going on there. Again, the plate on this one, I feel like the plate looks a little bit better. It still looks like it's massive. The grippy parts looks absolutely massive. Hunts looks okay. The stripes, big stupid horn again. They had a bell on one side, usually a horn on the front and the back. You got a couple things up here that look semi-decent. Some of the weathering, these drips and drops on the roof here. The frick. Those fans and fan grills, my man. Yikes. Yikes. Alright, there's the bell back there. Yeah, that foot plate shit is way too, like, kind of brown reddish. It's very light colored, and it looks ridiculous. You got some more of the streaking up here. What has this thing been doing? Like, what? Why does it? You got some more streaking right there. It's too much. I get it. We're experimenting with substance painter. Okay, fine. Tell you what though, don't charge money for it. Okay, do it in your free time, your spare time. Don't am I too out of line for saying that? What in the hell? It's like this thing sat under a tree for a year and birds just shit all over it. I'm normally a very passive person, but some of this shit gets me angry, guys. Really angry. It's got the SOU just like the NW on the other unit, which these had in commemoration to their heritage railroads. We got a little bit of liquidation there going on from the diesel. Yeah, this one's got the long porch. So it's got F in the front because this was long hood forward. That's what that denotes. Front F. Or for this pack, F in chat. Yeah, let's run back there and we can look at this thing in the light a bit better. Immensely silent inside. So here's the other side. Is it green? I know the Southern had some green shit. It looks a little different in here, the color. Let's turn all this bullshit on. Same deal, different types of lighting. That's pretty dumb. So we want to go backwards. No change in idle. Fuel pump, gen fuel control all down again. None of those work. It looks all very, very samey. Same shitty horn with a poor loop and popping. Run 8, baby. All right, friends, I have loaded up a scenario, and if you look at the bottom of the HUD, you can tell where we are at. We are at Saluda. We're going to go down the grade. We're going to try to, anyway, with this magnificent equipment that we have had bestowed upon us within this pack from DTM. This should be interesting. Let's so it's a scenario, so I have it paused. Let's unpause it and watch the action unfold. Okay, the RFE just climbed aboard and we're ready to pull eastbound. Oh look, we're already rolling backwards. Railworks moment. Okay, so there's no actual instruction then. Okay, I know Mike made a video on how to descend Saluda with poor rolling stock. But I thought that'd be part of a scenario, you know, walking you through how to set this shit up. So this should be even more interesting. Something else I'd like to note, I have set it to autumn, which in the Blue Ridge Mountains in the Smokies, it looks fantastic. This, on the other hand, I feel like I'm at a freaking Insane Clown Posse concert. And these are its fans. Standing all around me in brightly colored clown wigs. This looks stupid. Let's get some new trees, guys. Oh, look, we have a thing. Hold on. Road Foreman of Vengeance says, maintain power up until we tip over the summit, then apply dynamic braking up to 100%. We'll need to make a brake reduction 75 to 80 pounds initially, then another reduction 68 to 70 pounds. Use dynamic brake adjustments to maintain 8 miles an hour as we descend. Okay, I'm going to have to write that down. Hold on, guys. All right. Power to summit. Dynamic braking up to 100%. Okay, dynos. 1 hundo. Auto pipe reduction 75 to 80. All right, auto. 75, 80. Okay. Initially. And then 2. Then another 60, 70. Okay. 60, 70. All right. Well, let's see if we can do this shit, guys. Dynamic to adjust. So, that sounds normal, right? That's how you do it, isn't it? Let's look at our lineup here. So we got long hood forward boys. 3 of them. Nope. Scratched out. 4 of them. We got some coal gondolas. We got 3 in the middle. So 4x3x0. That actually sounds pretty normal, I think. But I think the train would have been longer, heavier. All right then, guys. Here we go. Throw it forwards. Just get them windows open so we can jump out of this sumbitch if we need to. No shame. So one thing it doesn't tell you is to just add full power while you're sitting here, right? And dump the brakes, because you just roll backwards. So we'll start with 4 notches. Loco brakes all the way applied. Let's release the auto. Okay, we're still rolling. Backwards. Six notches. And the friggin' air hadn't even come off all the way. Of course, I mean, it's gonna take a while. We're still rolling backwards. Am I missing something here? So we're somehow maxed out amp-wise, right? Yet we're getting no slippage. There's no selector switch in this sumbitch. Alright. Loco brake off, even though it seems to not be doing shit. Oh good, it was already off even though I fully applied it. The Mountain of Challenge. Alright, we're creeping. Is it gonna give us like notations on because I'm surprised we're not setting the brakes on the rail cars. It's very shocking to me. Oh, I forgot the headlights. Alright, stop board number 1. So it didn't actually tell us to stop here. Train handling is my passion with DTM products. We need to drape at least half the train over this. Shit seems very spongy. Going from testing the searchlight stuff yesterday to playing this is like, you know, going from the NFL to the AFL. Look at that jerk, man, when you pull a notch off. And the immediate amp needle. A doink. A doink. A doink. A doink. A doink. A doink. Alright, so... Wait, is there no setup for the dynamics? What the hell? There's not. So go straight to 1, 2. Absolutely no sound change in pitch. 3. Only half the train's over. Oh, that noise. Oh my God. 5. I love how it's notched too, by the way. I don't think these were notched. And we're in dyno 8. Alright, stop board number 2. Wow, those signal colors look horrible. What the hell? What the hell? It's pink! And they're huge! I can't wait to do this shit with some Searchlight stock. Or anything that's not this. There's literally no dynamic sound, man. Wow. I mean, them fans ought to be chugging up top, right? Alright. Here she comes. That sound makes me want to commit crimes. Very heinous one. Alright, almost got the train all the way over the hump. .4. You know, it said Saluda on a serious note. You gotta laugh. I'm trying to have a laugh. You gotta laugh. It's healthy. On a serious note, I think it said that the Saluda is like 5.1 at a very small portion near Sandcut. We're still holding. Alright, now we're speeding up a little. Alright. Reduction. All right, it said 7580 and 6070. That's full service. It's so hard to use these things. Look at these things jerking all over the place, man. These physics don't know what to do with themselves. So that is full service, and it's just holding us back. So I'm going to try and play with the dynamics here. We need to get slowed down a lot more than that. But I don't want to slow down yet, so I'm going to back off the dynos. Let's see if that actually does shit. There we go. Now we're speeding up. So again, this is I have not set any brakes on the cars. Sand cut. .6 still. All right, let's see if we can get this bastard down sub 8 mile an hour. Wow, look at that. Looks like I ate some Lucky Charms and then vomited. Jesus Christ. All right, there's max dynamic. So we are slowing down. The other thing that I find funny is it's showing the line speed is 20. Even when Norfolk Southern was using this line before its closure, the only things that you could do anything higher than 8 still, if I'm not totally mistaken, was if you were light engine, and then you could do 15. Alright, so I'm knocking the dynos back off, slowed us down a bit too much. I mean, mind you, I'm in full service. It's a bit dick-riculous. But I'm just going by what the scenario told me to do. With this ultra quality. I mean, I might be a few pounds beyond 70, but hey. Ending timing section. What now? Oh, sorry, what? That's where it starts. Wait a minute. Did somebody dose me with some PCP or something? Oh, that's good. The signal is green going back this way. That's normal. That's normal. No, 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 no. Do do. Da, da, da. Where's the timing signs? There's stopboards. Stopboard number 2 is down here. Stopboard number 2, okay. What am I missing? Where's the other sign? Let's stop, turn the dynamics all the way up. Whoa, what the frick, yo? We got a blinking Freddy on this bitch. Ending timings? No. No, 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 no. That's not how it works. Why does it say ending right there? What? What the? What the I just saw him a minute ago when we were looking at the actual route. That's not normal. So, yeah, something is not right with those timing board signs. Something ain't right. So it looks like it can be done. Is it fun? Not really. You know, the rolling stock, the engines in particular, just suck, you know. Yeah, I guess it can be done. It's just not, you know, it's just a small portion of the route. The other, I'll probably be utilizing other portions of the route. You know, as far as the map itself, I think it's okay. It looks okay. It's on par for, you know, the same old shit they've been doing the past couple of years. Everything looks samey. You know, scenery looks okay. These autumnal trees are just, they make me cry on the inside heavily. What on earth is this? Oh, dear Lord. And the trees are just all wrong as well for this part of the country. You know, but the route's okay for the most part. Stock, rolling stock, freeware with new skins for the most part. Some reused assets. The engines, there's been an attempt on the engines, but they still sound horrible. They feel horrible, and they don't look as horrible as DTM in the past. You know, yeah, on sale, sure. Or better yet, if you've got any Searchlight simulation stock, like the old Norfolk Southern -2s that were pulled, that are supposed to make it back on their store at some point. Because I'm about to run them some bitches on here, and hopefully it's a lot better experience with their actual 100-ton Colgons as well. So maybe I'll do a video for that as well. But that's it, guys. That's the Saluda Grade, also known as the Asheville to Spartanburg line. This was long AF. This might even be 2 parts. So if you're kind of confused, this might be a 2-part video. But that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you found it informative. The rolling stock makes me angry. The route was okay. I'll see you next time. Bye.